Bukayo Saka allegedly exploded at Declan Rice on the UCLA training pitch Thursday afternoon, accusing his Arsenal teammate of benefiting from Thomas Tuchel's favoritism, while Saka's role in the England setup gets pushed to the margins. It wasn't just a disagreement over tactics. It wasn't a heated moment that cooled down quickly. It wasn't the media blowing things out of proportion. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen days before a World Cup opener. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. According to sources close to the England camp, Bukayo Saka allegedly pointed directly at tactical diagrams on the training ground boards, diagrams showing Declan Rice's central positioning, and witnesses claim he accused Rice of lobbying Tuchel to build the entire system around him. And the worst hasn't even come to light yet. Over the next few minutes, you'll understand exactly what happened and why this changes everything for England at the World Cup. Because when this happens, 5 days before you face Serbia in Los Angeles to open your World Cup campaign, it's not just any problem. This is about the dressing room, about whether Thomas Tuchel can hold this squad together, about whether two players who won a Premier League title together at Arsenal can even function in the same national team. You, as an England fan, know what's at stake here. The entire tournament could unravel before it even begins. And the behind the scenes of this is worse than it looks. It all started Thursday afternoon. Temperature above 85 degrees. Outdoor training pitch at UCLA. Thomas Tuchel pauses a tactical shape drill. That's when Bukayo Saka allegedly walks directly toward Declan Rice near the center circle. Sources close to the squad assure us Saka raised his voice. Accusations about Rice playing a different game in an England shirt than he does at Arsenal. Rice reportedly responds, hands open, defensive posture. Saka allegedly points at the tactical setup on the boards, everything running through Rice now. What happened to balance on the wings? Declan Rice reportedly steps closer, jaw tight. Jude Bellingham moves between them, trying to defuse it. But according to information going around, Saka pushes past Bellingham's shoulder, still focused on Rice. The coaching staff intervenes. Tuchel blows his whistle 3 times. Session ends abruptly. Players walk off the pitch in separate groups. And here's the detail that seals how serious this got. Witnesses claim the locker room corridor stayed completely silent for 20 minutes. Nobody spoke. Nobody looked at each other. This is the England camp 5 days before a World Cup opener. But to understand why this blew up now, you need to know what's been building for weeks. The thing is, Thomas Tuchel's tactical shift toward a more possession-based system has reportedly reduced Bukayo Saka's isolation opportunities on the right wing. Sources suggest Saka felt sidelined during the pre-tournament friendlies, receiving fewer touches than he did under Gareth Southgate's setup. And there's more. What's being said behind the scenes is that Arsenal players have formed a tight block within the England squad. And that's created resentment among players from rival clubs who feel the Gunners are running the show. On one side, you've got Saka's camp. They believe the system favors Declan Rice's deep playmaking at the expense of wide attackers like Bukayo Saka. They feel his direct style, the explosive runs that terrify defenders, is being suppressed to accommodate a more controlled build-up through Rice. The Arsenal contingent quietly backs him. On the other side, Rice's supporters argue he's just following tactical instructions, not seeking attention. They maintain Tuchel's system maximizes England's possession strength and that Rice is the anchor that makes it work. And in the middle, you've got younger players like Kobbie Mainoo and Morgan Rogers staying silent, terrified of choosing sides before the tournament even starts. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for now. It leaked that one member of the coaching staff allegedly filmed the entire exchange on a tablet during tactical review. Footage that hasn't surfaced yet. But strong rumors point to it existing, and if that footage leaks, this goes from a dressing room issue to a full-blown media firestorm. The reactions have been swift and divided. Inside the dressing room, according to sources, the squad is reportedly split. Arsenal players backing Saka's right to demand the ball versus those who prefer Tuchel's structured approach and think Saka's being selfish. Harry Kane, who's captained England through multiple tournaments and shared dressing rooms with both Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice for years, is reportedly exhausted trying to mediate between factions. Jude Bellingham, the silent power broker in this squad, finds himself caught in the middle. His positioning in Tuchel's system allegedly triggered the entire dispute in the first place. The coaching staff is allegedly concerned this confrontation exposed tactical vulnerabilities opponents like Serbia could exploit. Some assistant coaches reportedly questioned whether Arsenal club dynamics are poisoning squad chemistry at the worst possible time. The FA, according to the channel's findings, is monitoring closely but refusing public comment. Privately, officials are worried this confirms fears about Thomas Tuchel's ability to manage English egos and club politics bleeding into the national team. Social media exploded within hours. Fans are divided sharply. Some defend Bukayo Saka's right to demand the system changes to fit England's best attackers. Others accuse him of putting personal glory above team tactics right before the World Cup. Arsenal fans are clashing with supporters of other clubs in comment sections. The English press reportedly received leaked details within hours, and speculation is mounting about whether Tuchel has lost control of squad hierarchy before the tournament even kicks off. And now, Thomas Tuchel faces a nightmare scenario with the clock ticking. He must finalize his starting 11 for the Serbia opener on June 14th in Los Angeles. If he starts Bukayo Saka, it signals compromise, but it also validates the confrontation and could embolden other players to challenge his authority. But if he benches Saka to restore calm, England loses one of their most dangerous attacking weapons, and the media firestorm will be ruthless. Tuchel will be accused of favoritism, of protecting Declan Rice at the expense of winning football matches. What changes now is everything. Tactical adjustments in the next 48 hours will reveal whether Tuchel maintains his system or shifts to appease his star winger. If Bukayo Saka sits on the bench against Serbia, Phil Foden becomes the strategic beneficiary, gaining minutes on the right. But you risk alienating a player with over 40 England caps who scored crucial goals at Euro 2020 and the 2022 World Cup. And there's someone who comes out winning from all this regardless. Whoever England faces in the knockout rounds, because a fractured dressing room is a gift to your opponents. Now, Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he backs Saka and alters the tactical system to give him more freedom, he undermines Declan Rice's leadership role and appears weak before the tournament begins. But if he sticks with the possession-based approach and marginalizes Saka, he risks losing the dressing room entirely and facing questions about whether Arsenal club politics dictated his World Cup squad decisions. England's World Cup hopes may genuinely depend on whether two Arsenal teammates who dominated together in North London can function under the same national colours in Los Angeles. The weight of what just happened cannot be overstated. 5 days before a World Cup opener, England's dressing room is reportedly divided. Two key players allegedly had to be separated on the training pitch, and the manager is facing a decision that could define his entire tenure. And look, this is far from over. This is the information going around so far, but over the next few hours, new details should drip out. and they could turn this whole story upside down. Over to you. Is Bukayo Saka right to demand the system changes to fit England's best attackers? Or is he putting personal glory above team tactics right before the World Cup? Write it down below. And if you don't want to find out about the next bombshell after everyone else, subscribe and turn on notifications now. Because when this fully blows up, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last. And that's not even the full picture. Because what's being said behind the scenes is that this confrontation didn't just divide players along club lines. It's reportedly divided them along tactical philosophy lines. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Gordon, both explosive wide forwards who thrive in direct systems, allegedly sympathize with Bukayo Saka's frustration even if they haven't said it publicly. On the other hand, players like John Stones and Mark Guehi, defenders who benefit from controlled possession build-up, reportedly back Thomas Tuchel's approach and see Saka's outburst as selfish timing. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Sources close to the England camp suggest that Jude Bellingham, the player whose positioning in Tuchel's system allegedly sparked this entire mess, has stayed conspicuously silent. He hasn't taken a side, but his silence carries weight. Bellingham operates as the advanced playmaker in Tuchel's setup, the link between Declan Rice's deep distribution and Harry Kane up top. If Tuchel shifts the system to accommodate Bukayo Saka's directness, Jude Bellingham's role shrinks. And you don't marginalize a Ballon d'Or top 3 finisher lightly. The thing is, Thomas Tuchel's entire tactical identity is built on control, possession, suffocating opponents through positional superiority. That's how he won the Champions League with Chelsea. That's how he dominated domestically with Bayern Munich. But England's best attackers, the ones who've carried this team through tournaments, thrive on chaos. Bukayo Saka running at isolated defenders, Phil Foden finding pockets in transition, Harry Kane dropping deep and launching runners in behind. And right now, according to information going around, those two philosophies are at war inside the England dressing room, 5 days before the World Cup kicks off. And the clock is genuinely ticking. FIFA regulations require final squad lists to be submitted 24 hours before the opening match. That means Tuchel has until Wednesday evening to decide his starting 11 against Serbia. Every training session between now and then will be watched for signals. Does Bukayo Saka train with the first team or the reserves? Does Declan Rice take the captain's armband in Harry Kane's absence during rotation? Does Jude Bellingham's positioning shift wider to create space for Saka? Every tactical tweak will be analyzed as evidence of who won this power struggle. But here's the detail almost nobody is talking about. If Bukayo Saka sits on the bench against Serbia and England struggles to break down their defense, the narrative writes itself. Tuchel prioritized system over stars. He chose Declan Rice's comfort over attacking firepower. And if England drops points in the opener because they couldn't unlock a low block, the pressure on Tuchel becomes unbearable. The English press will crucify him. The fans will demand Saka's reinstatement. And you will have a manager walking into his second group game already fighting for his job. But if Tuchel caves, if he starts Bukayo Saka and shifts the system to give him more freedom, he sends a message to the entire squad that confronting the manager works. That if you make enough noise, you get what you want. Kobbie Mainoo wants more minutes. Shout loud enough. Ollie Watkins wants to start ahead of Harry Kane. Apply pressure. And suddenly, Thomas Tuchel doesn't have a team. He has 26 individual agendas pulling in different directions. That's how World Cup campaigns collapse before they even begin. England faces Serbia on June 14th at the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The entire world will be watching. And according to sources, the England dressing room will walk into that stadium carrying tensions that haven't been resolved, just papered over. Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice will have to function together on the same pitch. Harry Kane will have to captain a fractured squad. Thomas Tuchel will have to manage a situation where every substitution, every tactical adjustment will be interpreted through the lens of this confrontation. This is the reality England faces right now. A dressing room divided. Two Arsenal teammates who can't agree on how the team should play. A manager caught between tactical conviction and squad harmony. And a World Cup that starts in 5 days whether they're ready or not. The consequences of what happened Thursday afternoon at UCLA will define England's entire tournament. And right now, nobody knows which way this goes.